Welcome, Mariusz, to Metallarium Pages. It's our pleasure to talk with you about Riverside, the last album ID Entity. You tour across Latin American and other things relating to the music. So, first of all, how are you? How is the band?
I'm fine, and I believe that the band is also fine. Thank you. I don't have them here, so I'm not sure how they feel, but I suppose they feel okay.
Okay. Okay. It has been a year since you released ID Entity. How has the public and critics received ID and Entity until now? Have you read any reviews that caught your attention?
Well, of course, there was lots of interviews about different kind of reactions, but at the end, I have to say that we are happy for the result because it was expected. Uh, we kind of recorded a controversial album for the most conservative fan base. But I believe that lots of them changed their minds after seeing us during the tour that we had a chance to play in 2023. Well, we recorded two singles that some people didn't like at all, but afterwards, during live performances, they were waiting for these songs. You know, if you are trying to reject dark, melancholic tunes and replace them with something more colorful, is not great for people who adore wearing black t-shirts. But we did that, and I believe that now, after 1 year, I have to say that we pushed some boundaries and we crossed some boundaries in the places that they were not connected with progressive rock or progressive metal. So thanks to this, we reached different kind of audience, and I'm happy for that.
Okay, nice to hear this. So ID Entity has been highly acclaimed since its release a year ago. What aspects do you believe make it a unique compared to your previous work?
Well, first of all, this is probably the first Riverside album that you can listen during the day, not only at night or in the evening with a glass of red wine in your hand. That's also for the first time, we recorded the album that you can listen even in the morning when you wake up. So that's the biggest difference. Also, this new material is now much better for playing festivals uh, during the daylight, not only at night with the great lights. Of course, I'm joking, but I believe that this is what I mentioned before in the previous answer. It's also connected. We have recorded something that is much more positive, but at the same time, the lyrics are talking about the identity of our modern society. So we talked about more serious things that matters everyone. And that was not only about, I don't know, depression and solitude and struggling with passing time, but also about some, you know, aspect regarding changing world in our modern society. So I believe we have never used that kind of messages in our album. So that makes this album unique.
Okay. Well, one thing about talking about the unique thing is this album shows influence from various genres such as progressive rock, metal, synth pop, etc. So, could you mention some bands of artists that inspired you during the composition of this ID?
Well, everyone has lots of inspirations, and we also have lots of inspirations, but I believe that after 20 years of activity, lots of things just simply became our own DNA. And that was not something like we were listening to lots of bands from 80s. That's why we did the song Friend or Foe. Or I don't know, we were listening to Rush. That's why we did Self-Aware. No, it's I'm writing concept albums, and if there is a subject that is really important for me, I'm using the music from my inspirations that fits to that. But I don't listen to music to be inspired to listen to create my own music. So I would say that what inspired us the most was the subject that you can read in the lyrics more than what's going on in the musical world. And as I said before, the lyrics are about how polarized we are these days, how we have a problem with distinguish what's the truth and what's fake. And that was more important. And Riverside's music was just Riverside's music. In my opinion, that after 20 years, we have our own style. And with every album, we try to experiment, push some boundaries. This time we kind of add a flavor of 80s into songs, but the rest is just like it used to be.
Well, yeah, the band has their own sound, that's correct. So, what are your expectations for the upcoming Latin American tour? Is there any particular country or city that you are excited to visit?
Well, first and foremost, we definitely are looking forward to playing the places we have never been to, the new ones, like, I don't know, Costa Rica, like Colombia, Argentina. Um, but we really want to go back to Mexico. We really want to go back to Chile, to Brazil. You know, people in Latin America are different, and than in, I don't know, Eastern Europe, for instance. So we are waiting for this boost of energy that comes from us all the time. As I said before, there's always something like during live performances, I believe that lots of people, I don't know, leave their sadness at home, and during the live performances people are just simply want to forget themselves, so the reactions are totally different than in some places in Europe, for instance, when people are listening to the music. Here is different. Here just, you know, people can even sing the guitar solos, so that really gives a boost for the band while performing on the stage. And we are just simply waiting for that. We're looking forward to, you know, get this boost from your audience.
Okay, and how are you preparing for the tour? Have you been rehearsing new material or will you focus on the songs from this ID entity?
That's the identity tour. So that will, at least a half of this will be from the new album, but people didn't have a chance to listen to that. I mean, our fans in Latin America. So we really want to show it, especially that if you are checking our set list on setlist FM, it doesn't mean that you know how, in which way we will play these songs, because we are changing arrangements. We just add some parts from old songs to the new ones. So these songs are always different than on the album. So it doesn't mean that playing only new album means that you will not hear anything old. But yeah, it will be like 50-50, more or less, old stuff and the new stuff.
Okay. And into this aspect, what message do you want to give your Latin American fans who are you looking forward to see you live?
I am, as I said before, I'm really happy that we can meet up again during our shows. That's a really inspiring time being that kind of countries, and you know, doing some kind of interactions between the band in the audience like yours. That is really, I believe that we simply need that these days, that kind of interaction between bands and the audience. And I can wait to experience that. So I just want to, of course, say thank you very much for the support. Thank you for buying tickets to our shows. And I hope you will not be disappointed during our live performances.
Okay, okay, nice to know. So I know the follow question is I think is well no, it's too short, too new to this to answer this. So what are the plans for the future of Riverside? Are there plans for a new album or perhaps a new EP? Who knows?
Till the end of this year, we are playing shows. And probably at the end of this year, we will start thinking of the new album. But I'm not sure about the exact date. I promised myself to not get tired of the deadlines already. So I will try to do this, you know, in the natural way, not like with the pressure, because we have to do something. We don't have to do anything. When we will, when we are ready, we will record the new album. For now, we just want to play shows still this year. And afterwards, we'll think of something new, definitely.
Okay, thanks for this. We're very close into this interview, Marius, and talking about other kind of things. So, how do you see the current music scene in the post-COVID era context or era, and the growing influence of the artificial intelligence, especially in the art?
Well, these days, artificial intelligence will have more and more impact for the music, that's for sure. And we're talking about working in the studio, about using some plugins based on AI. Of course, we are talking about live performances and using some equipment that is based also on AI sort of way. Um, the same is with art. So far, videos made by AI look exactly the same. So I'm waiting for some new upgrade of some tools. But yeah, definitely we will experience something in this decade. I believe that what's coming up soon and that can change a bit music industry will be experiences with VR glasses. Who knows, maybe that will be also that kind of revolution like it was in the past with 3D movies in the theaters, that for many, many years people are using that. So who knows, maybe VR shows will be something that people would like to experience. And maybe we'll experience releasing new live albums in that kind of format. Who knows? Definitely is a one big question mark in which direction it follows. But I'm waiting for that with open arms. We will see what happens.
Hmm. Okay. Well, Marius, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this interview like me. Well, we're expecting your visit here and Latin America in general. So perhaps do you want to add something to your Latin American fans that experience your Latin tour and obviously Metallurium followers?
I'd like to thank you for your support. I'd like to thank you for being our fans and waiting for us. We truly wait to experience this again in your country, and really looking forward to see everybody in Latin America.